Accessing the patient's record. Having assigned yourself or established a relationship with the patient, you will then click on the patient's name highlighted in blue, and this will take you through to the patient's record. Before accessing the patient's record, however, a certain number of discern notices will come up. The first one will probably be the accessible info alert. This will come up only the once, unless you remove it by clicking OK, in which case it'll reappear the next time you access the patient's record. Otherwise, click on Access Info. The accessible info alert records whether the patient will have any difficulty understanding the information given to him or her. The reason may be because they are visually impaired, hearing impaired, or have a learning disability. So, access info. You will either record no, there is no problem, or yes, in which case you'll record what the problem is. It will bring up the diagnoses and problems screen, which will often appear when you are in the patient's record at different times so that you can update it as necessary. Click on Add. The blue plus is the icon for adding information. And the problem may be a blind eye. Click on the binoculars or come down to the folder with problems. And search by name. There it is. I'm afraid it's rather specific. Don't leave a space after. Blind eye, specify that it's the right eye that's blind. Then there is optional information. Remember, yellow is mandatory, white is optional, but the classification needs to be added so that you can create a flag. Click on accessibility and then click OK, or OK and add new if there is a second problem. And here it is. So under problems, you would record any chronic problems that the patient may have. Go back to the previous screen and then click on the green arrow for sign. The next thing that may appear is the dementia delirium alert. Remember that any patient over the age of 65 will automatically have this alert appear on their screen when you access the patient's record. In this case, we have no choice but to complete it because it's 48 hours since the patient was admitted and this is now overdue. So complete now. And remember, the yellow fields are mandatory. If I come back to the grey panel, I'll see that there's still a red asterisk there, which tells me there are more yellow fields to fill in. Sure enough, here they are. And still more. So I scroll down and here is the last one. There is now a tick there to show that we have filled in, or we have recorded all the yellow fields, and now we can sign the form. The next discern message is that the anti-infective review form must be completed. So once again, it's overdue, so we click on review. And record whatever is relevant. In this case, more every time I click on something, it brings up yet another field, and now I can sign it. And now the prescription for this patient will automatically be completed when the course finishes within the next 24 hours. And if it needs to continue, then you will need to create another prescription, re-prescribe it. So you must acknowledge that you've read this and are aware of it. And now we've accessed the patient's record. The first thing you're going to notice is the blue demographic banner. This demographic banner gives me the patient's name, of course, and the fact that there are no known allergies, but there is an alert. And if we click on alert, do you see how the blind eye, the accessibility alert, comes up? So the allergies and any flags will be visible to you immediately on accessing the patient's record. You don't have to look for them. The weight has not been recorded, but will be by somebody eventually, I suppose. And we have all the demographic information here, the date of birth, the MRN, the fact that the patient is at this location, Mulberry Ward, and has been admitted under this encounter, the inpatient encounter, and the consultant is this person. The system will automatically default to clinical workflow in the main menu. This main menu, the black menu, is quite exhaustive and it's visible to everybody, whereas the grey interactive menu will only come up when you are in clinical workflow. The interactive menu has been created to assist you in recording information on this patient. It will have its own tabs. At the moment we have admission because this is where we are at the moment at the admission stage, or the patient is. After a while it will switch to manage and have its own interactive light grey menu. Remember that if you're seeing the patient in an outpatient clinic, you must be in this tab, outpatient tab. And this light grey menu is interactive. In other words, you can move these headings up and down as you wish to see them.